Hey, it's Dan with Dan Can Pest Control. Today we're talking about mosquitoes. I remember when me and my wife finally, accomplished the goal of buying a home. We had our kids and we had our home and we were living the dream. And we were super excited to get out there. We got the barbecue and everything was going great. And then my daughter gets bit by a mosquito. It starts swelling up. We're putting the itch cream on her. My wife gets bit and it's like, oh no, we've got this amazing yard and we're living our dream finally, and then this little tiny nothing just comes up and ruins our day, So luckily we were able to get our program into place on that home because we had pretty much just moved in. And then after a while of our program taking effect and working, we were finally able to enjoy the goal we'd been seeking for so long, and it was really nice. It is super important to control mosquitoes. I was watching this video the other day and it was talking about the world's deadliest creatures, and it went through the tigers and the sharks and the hippos and all that kind of normal stuff, and it was kind of shocking. Even being in the industry it was said mosquitoes are the deadliest creatures in the world. They don't do harm to your structure or like your home. They don't cost you money like that. It's like they affect you, your person. So at Dankin we have an amazing program for controlling mosquitoes. As I'm sure you're aware, mosquitoes are one of the hardest things to control because they're not crawling and they're not climbing. They're just straight up kind of floating through the air. And so we've developed this laser system that shoots them out of the sky. No, I'm just kidding. But we do use the best known methods for controlling them. And there's different things like insect growth regulators or just kind of instant knockdowns or different things that we can put out there to help with their breeding cycles and everything like that. When you're working with mosquitoes that can smell a source 300 yards away, it's always impossible to get 100% control. Our programs are effective at controlling 85% of the mosquitoes. So if you're typically having like 10 mosquitoes out there, you might have one. But the nice part is we recommend different pieces of equipment on the property that can catch all those other ones. And so we're pretty close to being able to get 100% effectiveness when you work with us to help solve the problem. We're moving conducive conditions. And so I always tell people, if you don't want to have mosquitoes on your 4th of July barbecue, we need to start that service back in March so we can get ahead of that breeding cycle. Small little conditions that can be conducive for them can make the difference between success or failure. Keeping bushes trimmed up, making sure there's not excess foliage, making sure the leaves are picked up so there's no areas for them to be breeding little ponds in there. Making sure that there's no standing water just around the property is huge. Making sure that there's no water up there in the gutter and everything, and then really just making sure that none of the plants are overgrown too much. And sometimes people will even consider what plants they have on their property to help prevent the issues of mosquitoes. A lot of the success in the mosquito program is just knowledge. It's understanding the conducive conditions and the habitats and the areas and the ways to apply the products and the equipment to use. And so a lot of it just comes with experience. Sometimes when you're working with a larger national company, their services are kind of general across the board. But when you're working with a local company that really understands the niche issues, you're going to have way better results. Some of our customers that love our mosquito program the most are the ones found closer to lakes or bodies of water where naturally there's going to be a higher population of mosquitoes. And really by understanding the places where they're hiding, we're able to prevent a lot of that. Because they're not always flying. A lot of times they're going to be kind of hiding in places, and then when they kind of get a whiff of an attraction, like a person with the CO2, then they kind of release and they fly towards it. But if we can make sure that we're putting the products in the right places so that they're not able to hide in those little places and wait for that, then we're able to make sure that those mosquitoes that are hiding are far enough away that they're not going to be able to be attracted to you when you're outside. And then by other means, we're able to make sure that we're capturing and eliminating any stray little mosquitoes that we might get flying through. So quick recap on the mosquito situation. Things that are super important. Number one, in any type of pest control, but especially with mosquitoes, it's about prevention. So getting early to break those egg cycles. Number two, it's understanding the conducive conditions that are going to be attracting them. And then it's about consistency. You can't call me 3 days before the 4th of July and ask me to nuke the property. It takes time to build up that situation, that environment. And so it's just about consistent application in the right places with the right understanding. And most important of it all, it's about teamwork. If you'll work with us and we're able to work with you and your property, we can see those results that you're really looking for.